Hi, I'm Jamie at badtimestorelo.com, and this time we're checking out Deadlight. Deadlight is a mostly 2D platform adventure game coming to us from Spanish developer Tequila Works and is available as part of Microsoft's Summer of Arcade promotion for 1,200 Microsoft points. The game itself plays like a classic 2D side-scroller where the player must travel through the world, mostly from left to right, encountering enemies, escaping crumbling buildings, and running from a malevolent military presence along the way. The story itself is told through a series of comic book-style animated sequences at the start and end of each level, as well as through collectibles found throughout the game which each give a bit more backstory to our main character and to what exactly happened to cause this zombie outbreak.
It's not even loaded.
The influences are clear here right from the start, as the gameplay is very much in the same vein as older titles such as Flashback, Another World, and the original Prince of Persia games. There's even a fair comparison to be made to the more recent side-scrolling puzzle game Limbo. Deadlight itself features a mix of platform elements, some brief combat moments, as well as plenty of puzzle rooms for you to navigate through. There are some interesting mechanics on offer here, but Deadlight does not linger too long on any one of them, and sometimes will actively punish the player if they spend too long thinking about the way to approach a room. This is a game where one small slip-up can cost you dearly. Fortunately, the checkpoints are fairly generous and you will often be reset to just moments prior to your death. Unfortunately, Deadlight has some tricky control mechanics and can sometimes have some questionable hit detection, meaning you will probably end up seeing the press any button to restart screen more than you would like. There will be times when a jump will not go as planned, and through no fault of the player, our protagonist will fail to catch a ledge or fail to double jump off of a wall and will fall to his death. Along with this, the game features more than its share of trial and error sections where almost any player will die on their first playthrough, forcing the player to retry that sequence over and over again until they get it right. This serves to surprise the player as they move through a level, but also gives the impression that the game is being unfair at times and stacking the odds against them a little bit too much. Games like Limbo have this too, but with Limbo it feels justified. Every death was somehow avoidable and could be seen ahead of time. Whereas with Deadlight, things often seem to come out of the blue and with no prior warning, only to kill you faster than you can react. All of this happens a bit too often for a game with such superb potential, and some players will easily be turned away as the constant retries and unforeseeable deaths can begin to get frustrating. This is a shame, as Deadlight features some of the most interesting visuals seen in a long time, and the art style itself is brilliant in the way that it uses shadows and light to convey desolate surroundings. The atmosphere is set early on and gives the impression that the world in this game is desperate, broken, and hopeless, and that no one is to be trusted. This persists throughout the game, and the story keeps up, resulting in an experience that is dark, unpleasant, and tragic at times.
I'm dying, Wayne.
You were going to die anyway.
No. I don't want to die.
Collectibles are featured heavily in Deadlight and range from Randall's lost diary pages to a scrapbook full of memories, ID badges taken from corpses, and even some fictional 80s handheld systems that can be collected and played. Keen-eyed players will also notice that the ID badges taken off corpses through the game all seem to reference real-world serial killers for some reason. This game is a visually intriguing, atmospheric, and innovative title that harkens back to an older generation of gaming and will find an audience filled with nostalgia for those older games, as well as newer players wanting a good adventure game for relatively cheap. Besides collectibles though, the game offers very little in terms of replay value and will probably not be the type of game people will want to play it over and over and over again. It also seems like somewhat of a short experience, as the in-game clock will come in at just under 2 hours upon completion for most players, though this probably doesn't count all the attempts that ended in death or failure. Deadlight deserves to be much better than it is. The ideas on show here are sharp, well represented, and fun to play for the most part. However, the story is relatively thin, and the constant retries often detract from the atmosphere on a whole. It is an overall enjoyable experience, marred by clumsy controls and a bit too much trial and error. You probably should play this game for the experience, and you will probably have a good time. But be prepared to hit retry over and over again until you reach the end. That's all for now. I've been Jamie at badtimesreload.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and visit the site and all that stuff. See you next time.